So now this is the second part of our video, right? So this is the second video on the same series, which is Physics AS Level Practical, Paper 3. It's following the Cambridge Board format, and we'll be discussing the question number 1 in it particularly. So let's just get started. So let's talk about the first part of the question number 1. So the question number 1 requires you to take measurements. Okay, so measurements are to be taken by candidates, and candidates are awarded marks for presenting the data to the appropriate significant figures. Now, appropriate significant figures are basically like any number starting from digit 1 and greater on, right? Greater than that. Like if it here we have if any number like 1.08, that's 3 significant figures. If we have 0.18, that's 2 significant figures. And if we have some number like 0.01, that's 1 significant figure. So like that, you should be knowing what are significant figures. And I'll make another video talking about that. But right now you should be knowing like what are significant figures, and you have to give your answers to the appropriate significant figures. You're awarded a mark for that. So, you know, 1 mark in your question paper, in your answers, getting 1 mark will, build up the whole score you get. So keep that in mind. You score a mark for appropriate significant figures, right? Keep giving your answer to the appropriate significant figures SF. Okay, you can search it on net, or I'll make another video about that. Accuracy of the common devices used, right? So this is accuracy, which is the significant figures for the common devices used, right? Now, the first device is micrometer screw gauge. The micrometer screw gauge is 0.01 mm. Okay, it has the accuracy of 0.01 mm. Meter rule has the accuracy of 0.5 mm. Vernier caliper has the accuracy of 0.1 mm. And protractor has an accuracy of 0.5 degrees. Graduated cylinder has the accuracy of half of the least count. Time has the accuracy of 1 decimal place. Now, on these things, I'll make another videos discussing about each device. Okay, if you need any extra information on this, you can write it in the comment box as well. But I'll make another video on each of the devices, because it's also necessary in the theory portion, right? But right now we are talking about the practical one, so you should be knowing these, the accuracy of the common devices used. So make sure that you mention the SI units right at the end of the data, right? So if you are asked for speed, then you write meters per second at the end of the data, right? If you ask for distance, you write the meter, right? Or any other, specific thing that's given to you. Like here it's mm. If you are given the reading in centimeter, if it's a meter rule, it's in, if you write the centimeter like 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, like that, right? And you'll go with that, right? So you have to write the SI units at the end of the data. You'll be awarded a mark for that as well. So in the space provided, you have to show that you have taken repeated readings and averaged them out to the answer, right? To get the answer you have written. So I have talked about this in the paper format video as well. And you need to show this, okay, so that you are given 1 mark, right? So that 1 mark is awarded to you. Even though you have the correct answer, right? Still you should show this, because if in some case you have the wrong answer and you show the repeated readings you have taken, then you have a chance of getting at least 1 mark for if the question is worth 2 marks, right? You have a chance of getting at least 1 mark. So draw a small table, okay, and write your readings in that. Okay, 2 3 readings, take 3 readings of 5 readings, right? And if the experiment is a long one, then only take 2 readings or 3 readings. If it's a short one, then take 5 readings, right? And then average them out and then show that you have got the answer after averaging them out. Now, how to take out the average of the data? You must have learned it in maths, right? But the average of data, how to get the average of data? You have to take the value number 1 plus the value number 2 and then plus the value number 3 or so on, right? The number of values is basically value n, okay? So the total number of values, you'll write the n here, okay? And suppose we have only 2 values, right? So value number 1 plus value number 2 upon 2, that will be the average of the data. If you have 3 values, value number 1 plus value number 2 plus value number 3 upon 3, that will be your average of the data, right? And you have to show this, okay? You will be awarded a mark for that. Then the candidates are asked to repeat the procedure and get 6 different sets of data in a table, okay? So you have to repeat, you will be asked to repeat, okay? You will be asked to repeat in the next parts of the same question. You have to repeat the procedure and get 6 different sets of data, okay? And then write them in a table. So know how many variables you have to measure, and the calculated values. You should be knowing all of the things that you have to mention in the table, and draw appropriate columns mentioning those variables and their SI units. All of those things should be mentioned in the table, in the columns of the table. Now let's talk about the features of a nice table. Now, a nice table, what will be the nice table according to the examiner, right? And let's just discuss the features of that. Range and distribution. Take the largest range possible. By that I mean, like, range is basically, if we go with this scale, supposedly we take a 5 set scale, right? We are having a meter rule here. We take an example of a meter rule, which is 0 to 100 centimeters, right? And we have 5 sets if we equally divide the range, right? If we have an equal range, right? So 0 to 25, you have 25 here. If you go from 25 to 50, you have 25 difference here. Then 50 to 75, you have 25 difference here. So, and then 75 to 100, you have 25 difference here. So the range is 25, okay? So that between each of your readings, you have a gap of 25, right? You have a gap of 25 units. Now, these are 5 sets. But what if, but you know what? You get 6 set reading. You are asked for 6 set value scale, right? Here you have 5 set value scale. But now you are asked, or you are needed to write, right? You need to write 6 set value scale, right? So what scale should you use? If supposedly you have the same example of a meter rule, which is 0 to 100 centimeters, what scale would you use? Here I have drawn a simple scale, which is the most appropriate and covering the most values from 0 to 100. So you have 0, 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, and then 100. Now, if you notice, between each of the values you have a difference of 15. So the range is 15. And the 6 set of values here would be 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90. Okay, these will be your 6 values for which you'll write the corresponding values of y. Okay, these will be the values of your x, and then you will write the corresponding value of y. Okay, and then because it's used for that. It's covering the most the most values from 0 to 100. Okay, so it can be the largest range possible from 0 to 100 if we are considering 6 set scale. Okay, so if we need 6 equal range sets, right? So then we have to use this scale. Okay, so the answer has to be placed in a table. Now, I have told that 15, 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, that'll be your scale. So you have to write 15, then 30, then 45, 60, 75, 90. These are in a table, okay, in a different column, which will be your x, okay, which will be your independent variable, and x slash whatever the unit you are having, SI unit you're having, okay, and then the y slash the SI unit you are having for the y. Okay, the y will be the corresponding value of x because y is the dependent variable and x is the independent variable. Okay, and you have to write the SI base units, okay, of each of them. X slash the SI base unit of x and y slash the SI unit of y. Okay, that's necessary. We'll talk about that more uh, further in this video, right? So the answer has to be placed in a table, okay, and you have to draw the appropriate columns, okay, with placing each variable and the calculated values, the calculated quantities as well. The calculated quantities are most probably the y, and the variables are x. You know, the variables, most of the variables are x, okay. So I'll provide you with some more examples on this topic in my next video. And if you are new to this channel, please do subscribe this channel and also like this video and share it in your friends circle so they can also take advantage of this. And do click that bell icon so you never miss any updates of this channel and get notified every time.